Why do adults always say that? You will know how hard life is when you go to work. And they always say video, but I want to say something. Why do adults always say that? You will know how hard life is when you go to work. They're always saying that working is harder than being a student. I totally don't agree with that. So like when you're an adult, go to work, maybe you have overtime, and after that you're done with it. You go home and you can take a break, and that's it. And you only need to care about work when you go back to work the next morning. But being a student isn't that easy. You go to school, and of course the time is shorter than going at work, but after school you have cram school and tutorial classes and other ECAs and other extracurricular activities that your parents just force you to go. And that accumulated time is about the same as an adult working with a bit of overtime. And after you finish all of that and finally get to go back home, an adult can go to rest. But as a student, you have to do homework, you have to do revision, and it's just a pile of stuff piling onto you. Yes, you don't have much responsibility as a student. You won't have much financial crisis as a student, but you will have to face a lot of stuff like social pressure, like the pressure that teacher give you, and it's just not fair to say that students have an easier life than adults. Yes, adults, they might have a struggle to finding jobs, etc. But students also struggle too. Students with a lower grade or those kind of stuff, they're always struggling trying to keep up with the class so that they can go on to the next grade and not get pulled back. Students on the top always racing to be the top, and if they didn't get first, they failed themselves and their family, and they will get blamed and stuff like that. It's just not fair. Also, another thing that I would like to point out is students and teachers. Have you ever wondered why teacher only needs to teach one subject instead of all the subjects for a specific class? But students, they have to take so many different subjects: Chinese, English, math, history, Chinese history, geography, etc. And why does teacher have to teach one subject? I believe that if students can just focus on one or two specific subjects, they will excel at it. Maybe not as good as the teacher, but still the result will be way better than now. Why do students have to juggle so many stuff and not just focus and specifically study those subjects that they love? Why do students have to study so many subjects? I do understand that when you're in primary school or when you are young, you don't really know which path you want to go, and you need to know the basic of everything. Like for math, you need to know how to calculate basic stuff, so when you go shopping, you know how much you need to pay. But you don't need to learn pure math or calculus to know those kind of stuff. So why do you need to study those? And for teachers, yes, they've been through that as well, but I really think that education is failing us. We normally, when you'll be about 18, when you get to graduate secondary school or high school or whatever you call it, and you aren't just done with it. For most people, it means university and more studying. You spend more than 1/3 of your life studying, assuming that you do university, and of those accumulate to around till you're 25 before you're out. And the life expectancy is let's say around 75. That means you spend 1/3 of your life just studying. I don't think that it's fair that adults get free time, they get to chill, they get to have hobbies, they get to have all sorts of those stuff after they finish work. But students, they have countless homework, countless stuff, and all of this stuff is a heavy burden to students. Many high school students, they study till midnight because they cannot finish revision. I don't think that is the same for adults. So I do think that like studying maybe it's around the same level depending on how much you work, but you can never say that studying is easier than going to work. It's just two completely different things, you know. So yeah, I really hope that someone would agree with me. I don't know what to say. I just want to finish this school as soon as possible. It's too tiring. I want to sleep.